Hello guys, my name is Glurmit and I'm joined by a special guest today. And when I say special guest, I am so excited to have them on the channel.
I'm the free-to-play Padawan, you guys. Some of you guys know me and some of you don't. For those who don't know me, I want you to come check out my channel because I make a lot of early game swugga content. Well, not a lot. I just came back to the game. Recently just came back from a burnout. I was had a mid-game account and now I've started a brand new account and I'm starting off from the beginning to show everybody how to do this game without spending any money.
Awesome. Before we get any further, I just want to say, guys, you do need to go search Free-to-Play Padawan and click that subscribe button because this guy, he makes some fantastic content for early game players. And you know what? Even as a mid to late gameplay, there's something you'll learn there because there's some great people in the community. I mean, your Discord server was really popular at its prime, which I hope it goes back to being like that. Great community, great channel. Go check them out. Firstly, I just want to ask you a little bit of a backstory. What was it that caused you to burn out?
Well, I'll tell you, I really made my channel on the idea that you can dominate Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes without spending a dime. That's one of the things I say in my intro, or used to say.
Yeah.
And the game just took a direction away from being able to confidently say that you can dominate it without spending any money. It was really with the Datacrons and a lot of the packs that have been coming out. And, you know, with you as a free-to-play player, you were never able to get the latest thing immediately, but you were always able to get it eventually. Yeah. But mostly Datacrons was the issue because you were able to invest so much in Datacrons with money and just really accelerate your effectiveness in the PvP modes, and free-to-play players couldn't compete, in my understanding.
Datacrons have been very polarizing. A lot of people either like them or they hate them. Now, I'm kind of in the camp where I kind of like what they've done for the creativity. Because I stream my GACs and I watch other content creators who stream theirs, it's very good for the entertainment value. Because not every GAC is going to be the same. But I'm also someone that spends on my account, you know? So, like, I don't see it from the way you see it. So now we know why you left. Why have you decided to come back?
Well, I went and I started playing the Lord of the Rings home game.
Yep.
And I was enjoying that okay, but it just wasn't Star Wars. You know, it wasn't this game. And I played it to the point where I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to play a game like this, I just want to go back to a game that I love because I still love this game.
Yep.
I love Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I just love the character farming and the building teams. I like building a team all the way up to relics and then using it in all kinds of different game modes. Yep. It's just a lot of fun, and being a part of a guild and participating in the raids and stuff like that, it's just a lot of fun to me. It's a good community. So I quit playing quit playing the Lord of the Rings game. I came back to Star Wars because I don't have time to play a bunch of games.
Yes,
you know?
No, I'm with you.
So I want the games that I play to be games that I really enjoy. I started a brand new account and I wasn't going to make content, but as I was making the new account, I'm like, you know, I'm having so much fun again. I want to share this fun with other people, you know?
That is great. Share the fun with me because I'm going to be here for the ride. I want to see how this account goes. And here's my question. Now, I know you have a video on this, so we're not going to cover it explicitly, which I do recommend you guys go watch. Really good video. Well made. One to maybe put on while you're having breakfast or getting ready for work. It's a bit of a longer video, but hey, I like those videos and I'm sure a lot of other people do. But really, I've got your account up on the screen. What is the plan for this account? Like, what is the goal?
Well, the plan is actually the name of my very first episode, so I'm glad you said it that way. Basically, the plan with this account is to try to focus Fleet Arena early until I get the Executor, and then focus on guild content until I am able to have a couple of teams in the Endor raid, because the Endor raid is what's coming.
Yes.
We still don't know what's going to be the best teams in the Endor raid besides Galactic Legend Leia, who is not on the radar for this account. But I want to get the CLS team up and running, and I want to get an Imperial Trooper team up and running so that I can use several members of the CLS team in the Endor raid, and I can use the entire Imperial Trooper team in the Endor raid the particular one that I'm building. Then eventually leading up to Galactic Legend Jabba.
Okay.
So at that point I will have several teams to get me different assault battles so we can get income into the account. I'll be contributing in the raid. I'll be doing well in fleet. And then eventually I'll be doing well in Grand Arena by fleshing out some of the teams that I've started and then ending up with Jabba. And at that point, I'll have kind of all the bases covered to start with, and I can build wherever I want to go from there.
That is amazing. Now, I just want to jump in there and say, you can obviously add to this. You're the free-to-play specialist, not me. But when you're in this game, You're correct. I don't think it's possible really for anyone other than the whales anymore to necessarily dominate, right? Because unless you're spending a lot of money, you're just always going to have your level. Because it's just the way the game's progressing. Because of Grand Arena changes, because of all of this, you can't necessarily be the best, but you can be at the heights you'd want to be. You might not win every single GAC, but you may get to the point where you're winning 2 out of 3 every week, you know? What I want to touch on is there's 3 or 4 things which in my mind are just so important for free-to-play players, and you've touched on all of them, right? The first one's assault battles. Assault battles are so important. I mean, you know why. It's because of Zetas, it's because of Kyrotex, it's because of injectors. Everything adds up. The second thing is raids. You'll know since you left, the raid system has been revamped. Amazing change for free-to-play players. The new raids, the Endor raid, the Crit Dragon raid, the current one, if you can do well in that raid, you have such a good income of resources. And then the last thing is mods. Mods, if you have an account with good mods versus an account with bad mods, even if you're a relic disadvantage, you're going to perform better. And getting Jabba gives you that bonus. I love the plan. I don't want to talk about your plan too much because obviously you have a video on it and people should go watch that instead of watching me talk about it. Let's kind of change the topic a little bit. I want to kind of pick your brain here. What are 3 or 4 things you would recommend people today? Maybe someone new watches this video and they see you and they're like, oh, free-to-play Padawan, they look interesting, but they're not quite convinced. What are 3 or 4 things you're going to tell them now that might convince them that you know what you're talking about? Like some advice for new players.
I'll tell you, it's not all bad to be free to play, because whenever you're in Grand Arena, you have a certain amount of galactic power that you have in your account, and if you're competing against, let's say, a hyperdrive bundle, you've had a lot more time to get some mods together and ability mats together to get your characters up to a higher threshold of power, so they're effectively a lot stronger, even though they may be the same galactic power.
Yep.
So it can be a lot of fun to beat bigger accounts, and what ends up happening in Grand Arena is that you go up against and sometimes win against bigger accounts because your mods are in such good shape, because you have to grow slow. Growing slow is not always bad in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You can grow well as you grow slow. And another thing I would say is to try to avoid burnout. If you set your goals and aspirations so high that you end up either being satisfied by meeting them or dissatisfied by failing, you're never going to be excited. You're either going to be just, okay, I did what I set out to do, or you're going to be like, I wasn't able to make it. If you just set your goals more reasonably and you say, I want to get this team all to Relic 5 and I want to be able to complete this assault battle on Challenge Tier 2 or something like that, you know, Challenge Tier 3 even, then you can accomplish that goal and then you can be excited about it and you can share those accomplishments. There's a lot of different Discords in this community that have a personal achievements channel where you can share those accomplishments and other people can congratulate you, and it really just makes you more excited about what you've been able to accomplish. You don't have to be #1 in Squad Arena, Fleet Arena, and in Kyber 1 in order to have fun in this game. In order to have fun in this game, you need to set some goals and then achieve them in a timely manner, and you can definitely do that free to play.
I actually love every point you just made. Man, why are you so wise? It's those Jedi robes, isn't it?
Hey, I'm still a Padawan. Someday I'll be a Jedi, and then I'll be wise.
Someday you will be a Jedi, yeah. We'll one day you will, and then you can come back here and tell everyone about it. No, I think you make a really good point on enjoyment, and a really good point on the satisfaction and not setting goals too far. And that's something I've been saying for the last year. On and on and on. I don't understand why everyone's so focused on only ever focusing on endgame content. Someone comes to the game today, oh, I'm going to farm SOKR, I'm going to farm, Lord Vader, I'm going to farm JMK, I'm going to farm all of these different things. And to me, if I'm brand new to the game, do I want to be committing to like a 8-month farm, when I'm just starting? And you make a great point. You don't have to do that. You can do that, but the way you kind of mentally prepare yourself does matter, because if you come to the game and instead you say, oh, I want a full Relic 5 bounty hunter team, well, you go ahead and you do that. That's now setting you up to go for exec, but you're not mentally, you're not preparing for that 8-month farm. You're preparing for something that's so much shorter, 1 or 2 months. And I think that's very good for staying in the game and avoiding burnout. The other point that you made that I love is you talked about this game, you don't need to rush. This is a game where the person who plays and they're free to play and they play for 5 years or 6 years, but they play consistently, they are gonna overtake and eclipse someone who spends a lot within 1 to 2 months and burns out. Just because everyone around you buying Hyperdrive bundle, just because everyone around you buying the Lightspeed bundles, does not mean they're always going to be ahead of you, because let's be real, they're probably going to stop playing one day. Because unless, like, I know because I spend on this game, once you start spending, you get into this habit of continuously spending. And if you don't, you're never gonna see the same progression. Say for example, you wailed on every single character and then you stop. All of a sudden, your progression's gone from so quick to nothing, and mentally, it's like a block. You're gonna lose interest because you're not progressing the same way you was before. Whereas the person who's free to play never would have experienced this, and like you said, you carry on playing. Over time, you're gonna eclipse that. I really love your way of thinking. I love the fact that you're here to show people that free to play is not dead, and I hope people go check out your channel. Is there anything else you want to say?
Just play the game because you love it. Don't play it because it's something that you've got to do.
No, stop it.
I'm afraid that's not going to work. You are going to have to play the game.
Or something that feel like you define yourself by how you're doing in this game. It's a really fun game, you know, and if you play the game for other reasons, you're going to get burnt out. And I'm saying this from experience. I had a lot of pressure to try to be super competitive in my previous account, and that kind of helped towards the burnout. You know, the Grand Arena changes and the Datacrons, as I mentioned, kind of helped towards the burnout too. But just, it's a fun game. Try to find the fun in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because it's there.
In the end, this is a game, guys. Don't let the game become your life. Just go out there and enjoy it, and go subscribe to Free2Play Padawan because they make some great content. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Glamit. Your name is Free2Play Padawan, and I hope you guys have a gloomy day. I think you make a great point, and just to reiterate, reiterate. Yeah, there we go. The point. Thank you all, guys. All right, thank you for coming.